after like a round of not being able to touch Michael Page, we're just going to see Shara Bullet doing like 2 to 3 spinning back fists in a row as a way to close distance against Michael Page. I think that's probably that's my best estimation of what this fight's going to look like.
All right, welcome to another episode of Two Fight Fans, where we talk about all things in combat sports. I'm One Fight Fan, Collin.
I've got some news for you. So I have, not to toot my own horn, but I've got the Steam VR headset.
Okay.
Thing, because I'm a big nerd. Anyway, and I downloaded. They do have like a boxing training program.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I downloaded that.
Oh, so you're testing out the VR thing.
Yeah, I did that. I like screamed with every punch really loudly. And then when I took my dog on a walk, this guy bumped into me and I fell over. So it doesn't help at all. Yeah.
Maybe you have to do it for like 4 months.
Ooh, okay. I will not do that. But it's a good call. No, I did legitimately though download one of those VR things, and yeah, man, you can just wave your little noodle arms everywhere and you win instantly. So it's like this is dumb. But I went in there, I tested the hypothetical, I got in there to the lab with my beakers and my Erlenmeyer flasks, and I don't think VR is going to be very helpful.
All right, that's disappointing to me.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. Well, let's.
Do you want to know something that's more disappointing though that I heard?
Trump is president.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
No. So this weekend we have a pretty great boxing card.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up that you let me know about. There is another fight that's been announced that continues to make a mockery of boxing, and I bet you will outsell or be outviewed by this coming weekend's card. Do you know what was announced that I'm alluding to?
For this weekend?
No, not for this week, just in the future. In boxing.
Does it involve Rampage Jackson?
No.
No, I'm a bit at a loss. Let me know.
The two Paul brothers are scheduled to fight each other on Max.
Is that true?
That's what I've seen.
Whoa. Okay, so they're cashing out, right? That's the end.
Maybe.
Well, hold on a minute. Okay, because I mean that's kind of the end. Like that's about as far as you can take this gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Like now you have brother versus brothers fighting.
Yeah. Which is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't. Okay. I mean, I think here's the thing. I think you hear a little excitement in my voice because I think once this is done, the Paul brothers boxing experiment kind of goes away, right?
Yeah.
They've done the Netflix with Tyson. One of them did it in Japan with Mayweather, and then they cash out and both do it against each other because there's no more internet drama intrigue post that. I think, right? Like it's just. Unless they drag like Roy Jones Jr. out of retirement, but they have to get a different like massive A side for themselves.
Yeah.
So it might be that might be the last of it. So that's exciting. Love for this to end.
There is hope for that then. So I'll give you that. There's hope for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Who cares though? Right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah. Look, man. We watched the fucking Tyson fight. We can't talk ill of any of the fights that they put on because it's I won't watch it. Like there's nothing interesting that's gonna happen. But at least they've realized it's the end of the road. So what fresh new hell awaits us post the Paul experience is what I'm interested in.
Oh boy,
because there will be something new and worse. But we're not talking about that right now, Collin. We're talking about the good stuff, sort of, kind of. An okay UFC card, but a great boxing card.
All right.
And we're making picks. So let's start off. Let's get into this thing, especially because I have to get out of here soon.
All right. Let's do it.
Main event: Israel Adesanya, your favorite fighter, the fighter you go
Mhm.
all weak in the knees for,
Oh, yeah.
against Nasruddin Imavov. Izzy is only a slight favorite. Looks like a minus 162 to the
Yeah, I
make
was
the
kinda
fight a
surprised by
decision.
that.
Yeah. What? How? Uh, what do you think this fight looks like?
Kinda like what we alluded to last time. I think this fight actually has potential to be a really big stinker where it's nothing really happens. Where Izzy uses his range and his footwork to kind of come in and out, and it becomes like a almost like an unintentional point sparring fight, you
Mm,
know?
hmm
Um, so I think it's gonna be up to Izzy to try to make a statement and do something pretty big in order to not only keep his name relevant, but to make this fight not suck.
mm. So you're saying that if the fight does suck, it's Izzy's fault. It won't have anything to do with the slow plotting footwork of Nasruddin Imavov.
Well, no, not necessarily. Not. I think it's like gonna be. It's the combination of both of their styles, because Izzy is very much he's a counter fighter. He picks his shots and he likes to fight at range and will throw combinations when the opportunity is there. But there are a lot of times where, like, with him in the Yoel Romero fight, for example, where there weren't a lot of opportunities, so he was only able to pick like one shot here and there. And I have a feeling
Yeah.
this could potentially be that same way. Not because Imavov is as like sturdy or as strong. It's just he doesn't do much.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with the Yo Romero fight, I think all of Izzy's fights is Izzy's offense is best when his opponent bites on all of his feints, right?
Mm,
He doesn't like going first. He loves to feint, you react, and then he catches you in the reaction.
yeah.
And so, like when you have Dricus Duplessis or like Sean Strickland, who his reaction to feints and real punches is all the same. It's just moving his hands a little bit, right? That's why it was so challenging for Israel
Yeah.
Adesanya. Is he just walks forward? He doesn't really make any other movement other than a jab and then like parrying with his hands. And so you
Mm,
can't really feint out a bad reaction from that because all reactions are the same. Imavov, I feel like does react to stuff. I like The weird thing with Izzy's style is it relies on like fighting people kind of on like two ends of the spectrum. Like one was like where you're so bad that you way overreact to um a feint. And so you're like, great, now this is my time to strike. And he catches you there because you've like dropped your hands for a big swinging punch. Or someone who's really skilled and is waiting and like just barely moves when you do feint. And he can like read that better than most people and catch you. But if you are like Yoel Romero, where you're just like, I don't even know if I should react or not react or what's going on, like, because a lot of the time Izzy could have just like extended his feint and popped Yoel in the face, and he just chose not to because he
yeah.
didn't like it. The thing is, I don't know if Imavov is like as stone willed as that, and he just
Mhm.
has no defense. So it feels like Izzy should be able to just. Another thing about Izzy style is like he always leg kicks, right? The leg kick sets up so much. Like he should be able to just calf kick the bejesus out of Imavov,
Yeah.
and then Imavov overreacts, drops his hands, and Izzy catches him. Um, but on the other hand, Izzy's older, I guess would be
Yeah.
the argument.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
And in Imavov's last fight when he fought Brendan Allen, he did kind of a really bad Dricus Duplessis impression and just like marched forward, limbs all not in line with any other part of his body, swanging and banging. And he did get caught a lot by Brendan Allen, who is a terrible striker. So, but like maybe that weird pressure, much like Dricus, much like Sean Strickland, is kind of kryptonite to Izzy. And his style will kind of fall apart a little bit. But again, he was beating the shit out of Dricus Duplessis for 4 rounds until he got the shit kicked out of him suddenly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I don't see Imavov as like durable and mentally indefatigable as Dricus.
Mhm.
So I don't know. You tell me. How does this go?
In terms of picks,
Mhm.
I so the safe bet for me would say Adesanya by decision.
Hmm.
I am hopeful though. I'm gonna say it is he's gonna have a one more run and he's gonna have a return to kind of old Izzy form. And I think I'm gonna say he's gonna get the knockout in the second round.
Ooh, the second. Why the second?
I think it's gonna take him a little bit to get his reads, and then we're gonna see something a little bit different out of Izzy. And I think we're gonna see a little bit more pressure and a little bit more kind of like that combination work we saw with Pereira. And I think he's
Hmm.
gonna put on the heat a little bit more in Imavov, and Imavov is not gonna be able to figure out the range, the timing, or the speed, and it's just gonna like death by 1,000 paper cuts, and then he's just gonna drop after like a big hit that's set up by a combination.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Um, yeah, my pick is Izzy by TKO. Third, I'll go third round. Yeah, because I think you're exactly right. It's gonna be this thing where if he just turns up the heat a little bit early on and just cooks him for 3 rounds,
Yeah.
eventually he'll break Imavov. Imavov is not, though nobody at the top of the middleweight division is really someone I would call a quality fighter at the moment. With Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis up there, but Imavov crumpled under Strickland's pressure, and it seems Imavov has never. I mean, he's never really faced anyone with a jab other than Sean Strickland, and his reaction to getting jabbed was to be so thoroughly confused on how to counter a jab or work around an opponent's jab that I feel like all Izzy needs to do is feint, pump out the jab at a consistent rate. He almost needs. Remember Frankie Edgar's coach Mark Henry?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would do rounds with his fighters, and he would tell them you are going to throw X number of punches or jabs or leg kicks or high kicks or whatever this round while you're sparring, and I'm going to keep track of them. And if you come under that amount, you have to do the round again. And he would just instill in his
Oh,
fighters
really?
this is the pace we need for this fight. And sometimes it would be higher, sometimes it'd be lower. Um, and it feels like Izzy almost needs a game plan like that. Hey man, you just gotta throw over 25 strikes each round. We can't be doing these 5 round or 5 strike rounds that he's had in a couple of his fights. We just need you to be constantly, even if all of them get parried, you just got to be tiring out Imavov and overloading his brain.
I love that kind of that just that kind of type of style of training and coaching. Like, hey, here's the rule. You don't follow it. Like here's the consequences for that. Like real
Mhm.
consequences. And like we had one of the people I was training with, one of her first times fighting, she refused to kick, just absolutely refused to kick. And
Mm.
she was actually a decent kicker. So our coach said, okay, every kick you don't throw, like I have a number in my head of the number of kicks you have to throw. If you don't hit that number forever, however many off you're from that, that's how many miles you're gonna run after this.
Yeah, right. You have to. It's weird. I mean, it really does show that as much as people like to overcomplicate and fighting is complex, but really the real basic of it is just you gotta do more than the other person. You
Yeah.
just gotta do more, right? And Marab is the ultimate example of that. Just do
Yes.
more. Just do more than the other person, you're almost guaranteed victory.
Well, how
Um,
many? What is the old adage? Like the person who moves forward the most and punches the most usually wins the fight. Like, like I
yeah,
know that's not like a guaranteed win, but it's like that's like one of the basics. Like you start with that.
yeah. Or what is it in boxing? You look at by the end of the fight, you look at who landed, what percentage did they land of their power punches, and as long as you landed, was it 40 or 45% of power punches, it's almost guaranteed that that person won the fight.
Yeah, that's like a
Um,
huge number to land.
yeah, and it's that it's always the person that is above that. Even if there's only a 1% difference, if you've just landed that that 40 or that 45, boom, you basically have it. So you just have to go and throw and land. That's it.
Mhm.
Or even if you don't land, right? Like Marab, you don't even need to actually successfully land any of this shit. You just got to be in that person's face. So yeah, hopefully Izzy will kind of adopt a little bit more of that urgency in his style.
Mhm.
Because again, right? I don't know. Imavov, I no, I don't think at any time during Izzy's reign would I have ever picked Imavov to beat him. Izzy is older now; he's past 35. I think he's 36, but like he looked good in that Dricus du Plessis fight.
Yeah.
He just is fighting the eldritch horror of Dricus du Plessis. So oh, there you go. Yeah. All right. Well, that's enough of that. We both pick Izzy. I actually think it could be a snooze fest, or what's going to happen is Izzy's just going to make it look really easy, and we'll just go like, why did we put him against Imavov? Like that was kind of a silly matchup. And then
Right. Right.
I know Izzy had been talking about wanting to fight Sean Strickland next, regardless of whether Dricus won or Sean Strickland won. If Sean Strickland wins, I think Hamzat's probably going to get the title shot over Izzy. But I don't know. You could do Kai Bahalio with Israel Adesanya.
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah, I mean, you could do Dricus du Plessis. If Dricus loses to Sean Strickland, you could do Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya again.
Yeah.
Or Dricus versus Robert Whittaker. Like, I'd rewatch those matchups. Yeah. Or Shara Bullet has been calling out Izzy.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'd be entertained by that. So speaking of Shara Bullet,
Yep.
in the co-main event, he's a minus 200 favorite. Ooh, you know what? If you had $5 you never want to see again, might be worthwhile to throw it on his opponent, Michael Venom Page.
Yeah.
It's a plus 154. Get your $5, get back what? You win 750. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. Nah, man, that's a quick math there. Good job.
Yeah, that's the $14, $15. That's some walking around money. You can go get yourself like a kebab or something. It'd be good. Some a little bit of shawarma. Feel good about yourself. All right. What do you? I don't really care about your pick on this one. I know we do. That's the format of this show. But oh man, Collin's dying. I don't. Yeah, right.
Jesus. Yeah. No, you just caught. You were just so upfront with that.
Yeah. No, but what I am interested in is picking your brain and like. If you get the pick right on this or you don't get the pick right, I don't really care. But I want to see which one of us can like more accurately describe what this fight will look like when it all is said and done. Because I have a really hard time picturing what this fight is going to look like.
I know I think I know what it's going to look like.
Tell me.
I think it's going to look like one of those really bad Taekwondo matches that you see like in the like high school gymnasium over the weekend.
Damn, bro. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're dancing on the outside. We're standing on one leg, spamming front leg.
Front kicks.
Front kicks. Yeah. Just like roundhouse kicks on one leg constantly.
Yeah.
No hands. Are we gonna see spinny shit?
I think from Michael Venom Page, you might see an occasional like spinning back kick, maybe one or two, but I don't think they're gonna land. And I think okay. Here's what I think. I think the first round is gonna be a lot of Shara Bullet just throwing a bunch of those like leg kicks and front like side kicks that just keeping Michael Venom Page at range, and he'll try to like respond with his own kicks or whatnot. And the first one's gonna be like just that back and forth the whole time. And then eventually, I think Michael Venom Page might try to use more of his footwork to dart in and maybe catch like with a straight right or something here and there, and he'll land those, but it will take a while for him to actually start to land that because Shara Bullet will just keep timing that front side kick over and over and over again.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't think this is going to be I think it could be a very, very boring fight like that. I don't think there's going to be any highlight spinning double knee back fist knockout.
Yeah. So, okay, kind of like how we talked about how if we were in Izzy's corner, we'd be like, Izzy, there's just a tempo we need you to keep each round. What would be your advice for both Shara Bullet and Michael Page about like how they should approach this fight? Because that's another thing where I'm like, neither of these guys fight any different fight to fight, but like, what is the overarching idea they should have when fighting each other?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I think Shara Bullet just kind of like what we said, like he has a lot of success with his legs, mostly because people don't have a lot of experience fighting someone who kicks that much. even though they're not like super effective, they
Yeah.
still land and they still neutralize a lot of offense. So
And
like
they're fast for a middleweight,
that's
right? You gotta
true.
give
Yeah,
them
they
credit.
are fast.
They're fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael Venom Page just he has very unorthodox striking and speed and like footwork and timing. So he has to try to bait out some of those kicks. I think what he's gonna have to do is like kind of bait out that double kick and then either throw a counter kick of his own or dart in with like a swarming combination which is not really what he does, but it has to be
Mhm.
like he's going to do like try to counter off of those missed combinations with like a 3 to 7 strike combination and then back out again, so that
Yeah.
he is now he's baiting out strikes and countering off of that because he doesn't throw like a lot of combination work or go into like or use it to like set up takedowns or anything. So
Mhm.
and you're not going to teach someone to change their style entirely like that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to teach Michael Venom Page to do that. Someone who has the skill set could possibly do that, but not him.
Yeah. Well, and he's also older, right? Like it's the style's a little
Yes,
bit more
he
ingrained into his neuropsychology. What is he? 36,
8?
37,
Oh,
or 38? Yeah, he might be. I'm trying to look, but whatever. He's in his late 30s.
yeah,
So like he is the fighter he's basically going to be. I mean, it's the same thing with
37.
Sheriff Bullet. 37. Okay. It's not old. Yeah. Okay. Um, yeah. Like the thing I always wonder is like when you have two fighters like this, it's hard because I think the last fight that Michael Venom Page fought was against Ian Gary, where Ian Gary just like chose not to engage, and when he did engage, he just like held him in a clinch against the wall, right?
Mhm.
But my thought would be, okay, it's gonna be the highest danger for both of you is when you guys are really far at range, and neither one of you are very good inside. We gotta just practice one or two like you know, dirty boxing punches, grabbing the back of the neck and just throwing a couple uppercuts when you finally like engage and make contact with each other. Because the both of you of their opponents don't have any sort of clinch fighting. Um, but I don't know if that's like a feasible strategy for either of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think this fight's gonna. I'm excited. I'm excited because I think Michael Venom Page will definitely win and Cheryl Bullet will lose, and then I don't have to talk about Cheryl Bullet anymore.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I just am like I really I can't fathom how this becomes an exciting fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I can't visualize it. I just visualize Michael Venom Page 900 feet away from Shara Bullet, and Shara Bullet just like spinning in circles endlessly, throwing back fists to try to reach Michael Page. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of right when people get really like struggle to close the distance and they get frustrated. The amount of like spinning back fists that suddenly enter their repertoire of strikes is exponential. It's insane. So I
Mm.
think after like a round of not being able to touch Michael Page, we're just going to see Shara Bullet doing like 2 to 3 spinning back fists in a row as a way to close distance against Michael Page. I think that's probably that's my best estimation of what this fight's going to look like. Yeah, I don't know. What's your pick? I don't really care, but lay it on me.
I'm gonna say I really want Michael Venom Page to win, but I think Jared Bull is gonna take a decision on him.
How?
I know. I don't want it. I just think that's what's gonna happen.
No, but you have to explain to me how.
Oh, I thought you just said no. You just
Oh,
went,
no,
no.
how? How?
I think he's just gonna win by points on those fast kicks, and then like I don't think Michael Van Page is gonna be able to uh land enough to take the decision away. Basically, he has to force Cheryl Bullet to miss and to basically make a mistake at that point. So I think it's just going to be it's kind of what we alluded to earlier. I think he's just going to more volume and is going to like just be a little bit faster or not faster. He's just going to be first more, and that's going to win the judges over in this kind of boring point fighting match.
Yeah, maybe. The thing is, like, I look at the significant strikes landed per minute, and share of bullets almost at 7, which is pretty high, but absorbed per minute is 4.5, which is pretty
Mm,
high.
yeah,
Michael Venom Page lands 2.3 per minute, and he absorbs only 1.5 per minute.
yeah.
He's just not there to be hit. Now that means he doesn't hit people, but when he does, he typically like hits pretty hard. Bullet doesn't strike me as a guy who like keeps his composure super well in life. I
No,
just feel
no.
like he'll get frustrated and just not. He'll just the dude's already got donkey brains, but it'll come
Oh
out
yeah.
in the fight. So, no, man, I say Michael Venom Page by decision.
All right, all right.
I
Yeah, no,
think
I'm
I
I'm
think
hopeful. I'm hopeful. That's what I'd
right.
like.
Yeah, I'll say he's even gonna drop Bullet at one point in this fight. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ooh,
That's my little side
nice.
bet. There will be at least one knockdown for
Okay.
Michael Venom Page.
How will he knock him down? With what strike? What are you gonna do?
Bullet will throw some like really telegraphed, probably like elaborate spin kick or like axe kick or something, struggling to close the range, and Michael Venom Page will just dart in with a left straight, and land it while Bullet's on one leg, and so like it'll
Ah,
mostly be a
okay.
knockover rather than a knockdown, but it'll count. But Michael Venom Page will not be able to follow up on it in any significant way because when he lunges through distance, he often brings his ankles completely together. So at one moment in time in space, his feet are completely side by side, and then he's completely out of his stance, and he won't be able to do anything.
All right,
But
all right.
that's what I see. Yeah, I just see like Bullet struggling to like close the distance and getting frustrated and doing the classic MMA thing of like going, maybe if I throw even more elaborate strikes, it'll trick him into getting closer to me. Like, right? Because that's really it's like, do you remember? Was it Kenny Florian versus Roger Huerta? Where
Now those are some throwback names. God
yeah,
damn.
but like by the third round of that fight, Kenny Florian had ceased to throw any other strike other than Superman punches because he couldn't close the distance on Roger Huerta. And so it just was like Superman punch, Superman punch, Superman punch, and it just like and it always failed. He never got any closer. Like they were so telegraphed. He wasn't like setting them up well. He just was like trying to leap through space with a punch to hit Roger Huerta. And I feel like that's just what Jared Bullett's gonna be like. Um, yeah, that's I just
Fan,
keep getting that image.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So you won last time, so I'll let you decide which category you want to start with, and then like let you make the first pick. The three categories are underdog win of the night,
Oh
decision,
man.
guaranteed decision, and guaranteed finish. Now, again, for clarification, you pick the fight where you think there will be a finish. You get extra points if you call what the finish is and who actually gets the finish, but you still get a point if the fight ends in a finish overall.
Got it, got it. All right. Let's just go with the finish then. I am gonna say it's gonna be Sergey Pavlovich by first round TKO against
Ooh,
Josinho Rosenstruck.
yeah, interesting, interesting. And why do you think that is?
Uh well, neither of these guys have much cardio. They're
Mhm,
heavyweights. All they
mhm.
do is just try to stand and bang. And I think Sergey Pavlovich just has a little bit more still in his tank because Rosenstruck has been knocked out pretty bad in a few fights. So
Mhm.
um yeah, I mean, it's not like either of them really have a lot of they're just very heavy hitters. And it literally is gonna be, I think, whoever hits the other first and who can clip the other one. And I think Sergey Pavlovich will just have a slight advantage in that
Okay.
area. And plus, Rosenstruck's older now too, right? He's been fighting for a while, hasn't he?
They're both older, man. It's heavyweight. Like it doesn't matter. Um, I do want to bring to your attention a few facts before we jump off this, though. Pavlovich's last fight went all 3 rounds, and he lost via decision. Jairzinho
Yeah.
Rosenstruck's last fight went 3 rounds, and he won by decision. The fight
Mhm.
before that, Jairzinho Rosenstruck fought for 4 rounds against Shamil Gaziev, and then Shamil Gaziev retired on the stool from being
Yep.
tired. So here's my thing: we know Sergey Pavlovich doesn't have footwork, can't close the distance, and we know Jairzinho Rosenstruck loves to skate around on the outside and try to pick someone off, which we saw work when Alexander Volkov did it against Sergey Pavlovich. Could this fight result look like Jairzinho Rosenstruck skating around the outside of the ring and Sergey Pavlovich waddling towards him for 15 minutes?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
100% it could.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, but I think you're probably right. Like, someone will probably die. Um, yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah.
Land,
Yeah.
land. Yeah, actually, like looking at this, it's really scary to see Sergey Pavlovich's landing per minute 5.8 and his absorb per minute 5. So he's just 1 for 1, baby, just taking it. And
Yeah.
Jairzinho Rosenstruck 3.75 landed, 2.75 absorbed. So again, almost just 1 for 1, taking it. That's a bad strategy. We'll see how it works out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, for my finish, I'm going to say the Terrence McKinney Demir Hadzovic fight. Um,
All right. All right.
Terrence McKinney, if you look at his fight record, he alternates wins and losses quite frequently. But let's just go back for the last few: first round KO, first round KO, first round KO, second round submission, second round KO, first round submission, first round KO, first round submission, first round KO. Terrence McKinney is kill or be killed in the first round and doesn't really know how to fight any other way. Now, on the opposite side, Demir Hadzovic only goes to decisions, but Terrence McKinney forces you to either kill him or get killed by him in the first round. So I believe this fight is going to end in the first round, and I think it'll probably be Demir Hadzovic who submits
Ooh.
Terrence McKinney in the first round. Yeah, I think Terrence McKinney is pretty easy money to assume that the fight doesn't go like over 2.5 rounds because he just implodes basically after minute 5. So yeah, but I'll say first round finish, Demir Hadzovic by submission against Terrence McKinney.
Surprised you didn't use that as your underdog. He's like a plus 300 underdog there.
Oh, he is. Well,
Of plus 380. Yeah.
Nah. No, I'll just say this is I'll say nah. I'll leave it.
All right. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. No, I have to choke on that decision. That's for me to deal with. Let's move on to decision. What fight do you think is going to be guaranteed decision?
Well, I picked, so you've got to.
Oh, well, then your boys.
I knew you're gonna
easy layup. A women's flyweight fight? Oh, baby. That's got decision written all over it. Jazz Davicius against Mayra Buenasilva. This shit's going all 15, buddy. Yep, that's my pick. Now you have to find a real one.
I know. That's a gimme right there. How many points do you get for that? Do you get 1 point or 2 points for that?
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Just a little baby pick.
Oh boy. All right. Let me find. Dude, I don't know.
It is hard because there's a lot of heavyweight and there's a lot of bad fighters on this card, which means more likely to just be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was gonna be my pick, but it's just like, man, fuck. Let's see. All right, I will say, I don't know anything about these fighters. Let me look at one thing here. No, that's probably not gonna happen then. Oh fuck. All right, I'll say the Nurmagomedov and Oliveira fight will go by decision.
Okay, I think that's pretty safe because how has Saeed Nurmagomedov fought? He got a submission his last fight, but then a decision. Wow, he lost the decision to Martinez. Oh, this is the Nurmagomedov that isn't actually part of the Khabib camp, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know much about Vincius Oliveira, but I don't know. The dude shredded, so good for him. Yeah. Okay. Decision. All right. Underdog pick of the night. Lay it on me, Collin. Who's your underdog pick? And I'll say you can even go to the boxing fights if you want to.
Sorry, I was looking up the odds for them. I couldn't find any of them for the boxing fight. Do you happen to have them offhand?
Yes, I do. Let me drop it into our little thing. Well, then I'll just go ahead and I'll make my. Well, no, I'll give you a chance. You get to go first. I was about to be like, I'll just pick.
All right, let me see here. Let me see.
Okay. Because look, I guess let's just talk about what's smart money for underdog pick. Probably, I think Michael Page, but we can't pick that one. That'd be a smart one to just throw a little bit of cash on. Jairzinho Rozenstruik could be a smart underdog. I think Damir Hadzovic is an okay one to do.
Let's see.
What I'm wondering is why Shamil Gaziev is such a big underdog against Thomas Peterson. Like, yes, he retired on the stool last time, but he's beaten Dontel Mays. He's no, actually, he's not really beaten anyone. God, and he is the ugliest motherfucker around. Like, I feel bad for him. He's got a body just like mine, though, so like respect there. It's all right.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're going to pick a boxing fight, so go ahead. You keep it.
Right.
Us.
Now, look, is this foolish? Is this just a plum pick for reasons unknowable to even myself? Yes, but for some reason, I watch David Morrell Jr. and I go, this boy's got the goods. This boy good. And the lack of footwork from David Benavidez and seeing how maybe his power did not carry up to the light heavyweight division, and now he's fighting a natural, very athletic light heavyweight. Something tells me, man, I think David Morrell Jr., as an underdog, a plus 195, could beat David Benavidez on Saturday. It's also strange because you never see boxing odds plus 195 minus 245. Usually the spread is so much wider at a high level.
Yeah.
Something's tickling me deep inside, and I think Morrell's going to pull off the upset. Because all he needs to do is take 6 rounds. David Benavidez slowed down a little bit his output. Morrell Jr. doesn't have the professional experience that Benavidez has, but he has a huge wealth of amateur experience. I don't know. There's just something. Morrell Jr. also saying that he looked like RoboCop because he just marches forward mechanically made me laugh, and I was like, "This guy knows it. He figured it out." I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going with David Morrell Jr. as my underdog pick for this weekend.
All right.
Yeah. What about you?
I think you convinced me with this whole Hadzovic. I could have taken that one.
All right. It's a bigger underdog, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of fucked up and just gave you a layup there.
I didn't know anything about that, and I was like, and then I looked at James and I was like, yeah, live or die in the first round. All right, I'll try this.
Yeah, and Hadzovic can definitely do stuff. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Cool.
So those are our picks for this weekend.
Those are the picks. And
now I have to ask you: Are we keeping record in like how many points throughout the year, or is it like technically I'm up 1-0 now?
No. It's by points. So you've got 6, I've got 4, and I'll just we'll keep track.
Okay. So whoever has the most points at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have to reward. Like if you pick an underdog that's like a minus 900, and that wins, like just like if this was real gambling, that would hit big.
Yeah.
My little piddly shit. Hey, this women's fight is going to go to a decision. I think for every $5 you bet on that in real life, you get like 10 cents back. Like you don't win that much money. So yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's the picks for this weekend's fights. These are good fights. Like again, watch the boxing match. The UFC ones, it's okay. You can watch the last like 2-3 fights. We then we've got. Let's talk a little bit more about the rest of this month. We've got Duplessis versus Strickland at 312, and Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez, and then nothing else on that card. And I mean like truly nothing else. There is it Wang Kong or Wang Kong?
Yeah, Wang Song, I think.
Yeah, okay. She's fighting.
Yeah,
on that card. God, dude, there is nothing on this card. Why did they do this, Collin? Like, we talked about this last year, like the worst card that we saw, and it was the January card where it was Dricus Duplessis and Sean Strickland, and then the female fight was Raquel Pennington, Myro Buenasilva. Now, Zhang Weili and Tatiana Suarez are infinitely better than both of those women at bantamweight, but you've just tried to replicate the worst card you had last year. Why would they do this, Collin? Why?
Dude, I don't know, but we also talked about this before, where it's like, in the past where they stack a card and then like the next 6 have nothing on it. Like at least they've like attempted to spread out a little bit more.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
It's just like take all the main events off the Apex. Like, let's stop like making Apex cards have one okay fight on it and then like 9 terrible fights. And
Mhm.
let's just take those one good fights, throw them on the pay-per-views, and just have the Apex cards be only slop. So we just
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that's the score. Um, yeah, because like we've got after this Duplessis Strickland fight, we've got another Apex card on February 15th. It's got Jared Cannonier and Gregory Hobocop Rodriguez, and I'm like, cool. I like that fight. I mean, it's middleweight, so like, who really cares? But it's got Hobocop, and I love that. And then you've got Calvin Kattar versus Yusuf Zalal. Those are 2 great fights. Get them out of the Apex, but put them on this Dricus Duplessis Sean Strickland card, and then move Justin Taffa and Jimmy Crute's fights onto the Apex. And then we just go, oh, I don't even need to watch this Apex card. I don't need to pay attention.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then we do have the Seattle card, which is good. Henry Cejudo, Song Yadong, Brendan Allen, Fluffy Hernandez. How did that get the co-main event spot? Get that out of here. Genie Valjean Silva versus Melsik Bogdasarian. I don't really know who he is,
I
but
don't know that.
we like John Silva. Rob Font, Dominic Cruz. Dominic Cruz retiring after this fight. Curtis Blades versus Rizian Kuniev, and then Edson Barbosa versus Steve Garcia. This is a good card.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we'll talk about we'll do a retrospective on Dominic Cruz's career and talk about why at the moment he's the bantamweight goat, and Collin is wrong to believe otherwise. Yeah,
All
that'll be
right, all
fun.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be February, and then I don't know. The slow passage of time will consume us all, and entropy will take over the universe. The sun will die, and we will still have Apex cards. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, that's been our picks. A little bit of a shorter episode because it's not, there's not much to talk about. It's just
Yeah.
basically 2 fights or like 1.5 fights. Um, yeah. Join us next week where we talk about what we saw at this card. I guess we prepare for this UFC 312 fight card, maybe. And then,
I mean, we got it. We got it.
yeah,
It's DDP, man.
I know, but it's Sean Strickland, dude. Like, we're gonna talk about it, but like, the thing is, how is the fight gonna look any different than it looked before? Like any different?
It's not, but I'm
I,
hoping DDP gets a finish.
but yeah. Well, okay, yeah, but ugh. And then what? Do we have anything good? Oh shit! Later this month, we do also have Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol in their
Yes.
rematch. So
Yeah.
that slaps. I'm excited for that. That's cool. That gets the DDP Sean Strickland taste out of my mouth. Good. Yeah. Alrighty, everyone. Well, this has been 2 Five Hands Podcast. I'm 1 5 Hands Snort.
I'm the other Collin.
Always remember what they took from you, which is not having to watch Apex cards. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.